Causes of ocean acidification. Ocean acidification is the process that causes the pH of seawater to decrease. This causes several problems for marine life, including coral reefs. Causes of ocean acidification are wide and varied, but this blog post will tell you the main causes of ocean acidification. Ocean acidification caused by climate change. The rising levels of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere are harming our environment and posing a grave threat to marine life. When CO2 dissolves into seawater, it causes ocean acidification, leading to significant changes down below like more intense storms and increased coral bleaching. We're doing an excellent job at ruining this planet for future generations. The world's oceans are facing an environmental disaster of potentially unprecedented proportions due to climate change. For centuries they've absorbed increased levels of CO2 released into our atmosphere through fossil fuel burning, which naturally led to their gradual decrease in pH. But now we're seeing changes happen much more rapidly than expected, with dire consequences for underwater ecosystems like coral reefs, sea urchins, plankton blooms, etc. Ocean acidification caused by increasing population. Ocean acidification is a result of the increasing population and consequent pollution. As a result, increasingly acidic oceans are changing how marine life functions and destroying food chains at every level. In recent years, the global population has been steadily increasing. This increase in people means more carbon dioxide emissions from our burning of fossil fuels and other industrial processes that release CO2 into the atmosphere. The excess CO2 increases ocean acidification, which threatens to harm coral reefs worldwide and marine life like oysters and crabs. Ocean acidification caused by acid rain. With the world's oceans becoming more acidic, it is difficult for marine life to build shells. Reefs around Hawaii are being threatened by acidification and coral bleaching due to climate change, which causes an increasing temperature of ocean water. Scientists predict that if this trend continues, there will be no more reefs within 10 years, so we must take action now. The acid rain continues to pour down on the surface of the ocean and has begun making its way through our oceans. Here, along with nitrogen oxide from power plants, sulfur dioxide, a byproduct of industrial processes such as fossil fuel production or coal burning in homes for heat, we have a situation where the pH levels are 7.8 less than they should be at 8 alkanes, neutral. Ocean acidification caused by agriculture. Overfarming is one of the most significant threats to our oceans. When we fertilize crops with manure and fossil fuel-based nitrogen, these chemicals find their way into aquatic ecosystems where they react in a process known as acidification that causes seawater pH levels to decrease dramatically, leading to coral reef destruction. Sea life extinction rates rising exponentially due both from chemical toxicity and climate change impacts, which also include an increase in ocean temperature. Now what? The answer may be found by examining how humans can lower carbon dioxide emissions while maximizing sustainable agriculture practices such as planting more trees or using natural composts rather than artificial fertilizers. Causes of ocean acidification are hard to understand, but we all need to work together to control these causes. Ocean acidification caused by industries. Recently, industries have been emitting more and more carbon dioxide into our atmosphere, causing seawater to turn acidic. This acidification hurts marine life that dwells in said waters due to their vulnerable nature. The industry has been causing the ocean to become acidic by emitting carbon dioxide. This process is known as acidification, and it's a harmful environmental change that will take many years if not decades for natural processes to undo. But this doesn't mean we all have to sit back and watch, because there are things each one of us can do now, like switching up our diet or doing some research on renewable energy sources in order to make sure these negative changes don't happen where you live too. Causes of ocean acidification are important to know so that we can control them. Ocean acidification caused by flooding. The acidification of the oceans is a serious problem that has been caused by flooding. Many different aspects of life will be affected by climate change, including flooding. According to a recent study published in Scientific Reports, as the oceans heat up and acidify due to increased CO2 levels in the atmosphere, they're expected to contribute $470 billion worth of damage annually to coastal communities worldwide. Our planet's climate may be changing at an alarming rate. Still, some scientists believe all hope isn't lost for certain species such as Lophelia pertusa or elkhorn coral, both critically endangered by human activities, including fossil fuel burning and global warming-induced changes like ocean acidification caused by flooding, or ocean deoxygenation, since dissolved oxygen remains unchanged. In order to save our planet for future generations, we need to reduce the causes of ocean acidification. Ocean acidification caused by urbanization. A beautiful ecosystem is being destroyed by urbanization. The ocean acidification, primarily caused by the increase of CO2 emissions from cars and factories, has devastated one of our most critical natural resources, making it more difficult for marine life to survive off their primary food source, plankton. If left unchecked, this will cause a devastating chain reaction that could threaten the environment and human health as well, because oxygen levels are decreasing due to polluted water taking up shelter on top. At the same time, deep-sea creatures use up all available air supply since they're living closer together than ever before, with less room now given how shallow much of the waters have become, a direct result of climate change.